morning, everybody. Welcome to Optimus Fantasy. We are here on Sunday morning. It is week 6 of NFL action. And if you're tuning in, it is halftime of this incredibly boring, very sloppy Sunday morning game over in London between the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. I'm going to be honest, I have missed a lot of this game. It's early here in Denver. This is the one morning I get to sleep in. This is the one morning this month I got to a little bit. So I missed some of the first quarter, but Lou filled me in here as we got into studio, told me the last 2 minutes were basically the I am dumber for having heard this speech from Billy Madison. So I don't know, guys, maybe stay here for the show. Yeah, we got fun stuff going on.
Clearly the Jets do not trust their quarterback, Justin Fields. You know, I think I'm kind of coming around to, okay, what he is he's the guy that you load up when the defensive line is a little shaky. Maybe they're not quite as disciplined, and just Denver is not that defense, man. They are just all up in his head. He has no idea which way is up. It's just every single bad Justin Fields thing that you have heard about over the last, 6 years now? It's present in this game, man. It's rough.
Well, 4 sacks, loss of 15 yards total between those 4 sacks. He's got a 74.1 QB rating. That's pretty bad. Not QBR.
It's that high.
Well, I mean, I guess that's fair. On the other side of it, though, Bo Nix is playing okay. 15 to 20, 125 yards and a touchdown. He's got a 107.3 rating. What's curious to me, Lou, and I swapped Dobbins out last night. I had him in a flex spot. Something just yelled at me, and I swapped him out for somebody else. 7 carries for 15 yards in this first half.
Yeah, they're not really trying. They seem to be content with Denver barely runs a real NFL offense as it is. And they seem to be just going away from that even more now. Like, it's just, I don't really understand, but I also don't spend a whole lot of brain power trying to understand Sean Payton, because I also enjoy it when I stop hitting myself in the head with a hammer. It's that sort of thing for me.
Well, I don't know what the point in trying to understand Sean Payton is. I mean, we know this from his days in New Orleans. He did whatever the hell he wanted. The offenses could at times be confusing for fantasy managers, so he keeps it up. What's not confusing is apparently, according to Cinco de Manger, that is Carly. You should definitely check her out on Blue Sky and check out Optimus Fantasy News on Blue Sky as well. She is dropping everything ahead of the games to keep you informed, guys. This is a good little nugget, though, Lou. Quentin Johnston, he's been questionable. There was a lot of thought that he wasn't going to play today. He's on the field warming up. He has a compression sleeve on his upper right leg. To you and to me, I believe this probably indicates he's going to play, right, Lou?
I mean, I think he's going to try and make a go of it. The way the team's been talking about it is they want to protect him from re-injury. So if they think there's a chance he re-injures it, they're going to hold him out or limit him or whatever the case may be. I expect him to get some snaps, but I've moved him way, way down. I expect him to be severely limited, just based on the way he plays. He's so big and explosive that just one wrong move on that leg, that hamstring, and he's going to be done for the day. So maybe that comes, midway through the first quarter. Maybe he gets through warmups and they say, nope, you're not going. But I think I've got him around like wide receiver 60 right now, just in case he does suit up for a quarter or two. But I don't think he sees much. I have moved Ladd McConkey up as a result. Keenan Allen's just kind of been living high for me because he is apparently the apple of Justin Herbert's eye, as he, Keenan Allen, went to hold Rome Odunze down last year, and now he's doing the same for another wide receiver in that class, and Ladd McConkey this year, the jerk.
Well, I think the thing that we really underestimated in Los Angeles with this Chargers team, and specifically with Keenan Allen, was just that comfort level that Justin Herbert has, right? It's like getting back together with an ex-girlfriend. Like, all the habits, the routines. It's super easy to just kind of like snap right back into it, right? And I think that's what we got with Keenan Allen. But today, I'm with you. I've got Ladd higher than Keenan. I just moved Ladd McConkey up. I have got him at wide receiver 13. I've got Keenan Allen at 19, and I've got Quentin Johnston similar to you, not as far back. I've got him at 48, just in case he does something interesting. But I'm with you on this. I think this is a Ladd McConkey day. for me. So
Yeah, that's valid. I've got them pretty similar. I've got Keenan Allen. He is in a higher tier, but he's wide receiver 14 for me. I've got McConkey at 17.
so just
This
flip
is
flopped.
yeah. And I mean, like, they're 3 spots apart. I'm not gonna quibble at all, here. It's the only reason I have McConkey lower is just because of what we've seen so far this year, right? It's just what it is.
Yep,
But I mean,
and that's completely fair.
Yeah, this Chargers team, like, I'm really concerned. Like, this is essentially the 2024 Chargers now, without J.K. Dobbins, only without Joe Alt, and with Keenan Allen instead. So Allen is incredibly quarterback friendly. That's, to your point about, getting back together with your ex, everything like that. Like, I really hope none of y'all ever do that, by the way. There's a reason y'all broke up, unless, extensive therapy has gone on for the both of y'all in between. Don't do that, please. But like, we saw this in Chicago last year, right? Keenan Allen, he's incredibly quarterback friendly. He's easy to trust. He catches everything that comes his way.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's really going to be a lot of both of them, and I expect very little to nothing for those running backs.
Yeah, I don't expect. I've got Haskins. I think I put him up at running back 36. With the news that he was going to be the lead back, which I think Harbaugh kind of falls into that class of Sean Payton. I don't believe anything you say. But I could also see Haskins being kind of the lead guy. This is an interesting matchup. They're up against Miami. They might run it more than we think they're going to run it because it's Miami, but we'll have to see here. Lou, I want to get to a couple of questions we've got in the chat as we are here to help you get your lineup set this morning, guys. We got Sam Piazza on YouTube. If Kamara doesn't play, do you play Calvin Ridley or Trevion Henderson? Point per touch league. Ooh, I don't know that we're going to see much in the way of volume for Henderson today. I'd probably lean Ridley here against Las Vegas.
That's a rough situation to be in, perfectly honestly, and I don't envy it. But I do lean Henderson. No Antonio Gibson for a full week. They have time to get Henderson more ready for that role, compared to last week and obviously previous weeks. They're running out of able bodies there in New England, and they need something that's not Ramondre Stevenson all the time. So I do expect Henderson to see an uptick. Ridley, I mean, I know it's Las Vegas, but that Tennessee offense is bad, man. And we've seen Alec Omenor and Gunnar Helm especially really start to take on more volume as they've had time on task together and been able to get that comfort level. And I mean, Ridley just makes those weirdly boneheaded plays where he catches a ball a yard too deep, or he makes a weird drop that he never makes. That's just kind of who he is right now. So give me Henderson in a toss up between two guys I don't feel great about either way.
Yep. This coming from our news desk. I think Kamara plays from Cinco de Mayo, so that's a good sign. It's trending. I've got him in my rankings. I didn't take him out. It looks like he's trending towards playing, so you should be good there. Joshua Rosen wants to know, Kendrick Bourne or Chris Olave today? Not a question I thought we'd be needing to answer, but it's a valid one given what Bourne did with Mac Jones last week. San Francisco is likely going to be in a pass-heavy script today against Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. Which side are you going with here, Lou?
I am going Olave. I believe Jawan Jennings is slated to play today. He's been done that kind of limited thing, but he's also been practicing where the others didn't. And they've said outright that when Jennings is active, he is their wide receiver one and everything like that. And we've seen that reflected as well. I know Mac Jones has that affinity with Bourne and everything, so I expect Bourne to be solid. But I know Christian Gonzalez has kind of been dealing with, I believe, a hamstring injury. He recovered from and came back from, and then also missed more practice time this week. So he's definitely not right. So give me Olave. I mean, we know that is going to be down throwing the ball because they kind of can't run the ball. And we know Olave is that target hog. So give me Olave. I think both are decent options, not high end, but not bad.
Yeah, I am in the same spot. It has to be Olave for me. I'm higher on Bourne this week just because I am, because of the situation, because of a lot of things we've talked about. Bourne and Mac Jones have a familiarity, blah, 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 blah. But Chris Olave is still that target hog, and we know he's the wide receiver one in this offense in New Orleans. Again, if Juwan Jennings is playing, it's really hard to be excited about Kendrick Bourne outside of maybe a flex spot. Zico Demanger on Twitch wants to know, Lou, full PPR flex one, Brian Thomas Jr., Sam Laporta, or Jaden Higgins, the Houston Texan. Excuse me. No, sorry, T.
Is
Higgins.
that Jaden Higgins or probably
T. Higgins. I don't know why I went Jaden Higgins. It's T.
I mean, they've performed about the same this year so far, sadly.
I mean, that, unfortunately. Which way are you going here, Lou?
I'm still going BTJ. That Seattle offense has been surprisingly good all year, like above solid and into good. That Jacksonville defense and team, it's a weird team. Like I can't quite put my finger on what's going to happen with them week to week, but I know it's going to be weird. So I expect them to have to throw, and the Seattle cornerbacks, they're all hurt. I don't know how or why that happened, but they've kind of been dropping like flies to no fanfare whatsoever. I think BTJ has a decent game compared to what he's done so far this year, at least. Of those, I actually have them in that order: BTJ, Laporta, and then Higgins. It's Flacco getting Green Bay twice in 1 year. I don't see Green Bay getting got by Flacco twice in one season, especially not behind the Cincinnati O-line. You're muted, bud.
It's going to be BTJ for me, by a hair. I could be swayed into Laporta. You're not going to trick me on T. Higgins right now. I need to see what Flacco does in this offense a little bit. There's a chance that, we could get the top 10 Jamar Chase and T. Higgins that we thought we might get this year with Burrow, with Flacco. A chance. I said chance. Lou, I said chance.
Not against Green Bay, though.
Not against Green Bay, though. Exactly. Not against Green Bay, not this week. We have got Masquerade Piranha. I love the screen name over on Twitch. Full PPR. Awesome. Quarterback, Dak or Jared Goff. Tight end, Juwan Johnson or Mark Andrews. Running back, Jalen Warren or Ramondre Stevenson. And then flex, Romeo Doubs or Rashid Shaheed. Let's start at quarterback. For me, it's going to be Dak this week. Lou, how about you?
Yeah, super solid Dak. Carolina, we've seen that their pass defense. Their defense is surprisingly okay this year, where they were a wet paper towel last year. But their defense is still not good. And Dallas's passing offense is still very good. Dak is still Dak. I've got him at QB5 this week. Rock solid QB1. Roll with it, and that way you don't need to sweat Goff. Like, I think Goff still has a chance at a very good game, but this way you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think Goff will be fine this week. I like Dak a lot more against Carolina. You got to love it when you set such a high bar as that this defense is surprisingly okay. Not what you, right?
All right, let's get this. Panthers.
Surprisingly okay. All right, let's get to this tight end question here. Juwan Johnson or Mark Andrews this week, Lou? I'm leaning Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's Cooper Rush. I don't want Ravens unless I have to. Like, I'm starting Henry because I have to, and that's it as far as Ravens goes.
Yeah, no, I want nothing to do with that team. It's definitely Juwan Johnson for me. All right, let's move on to the running backs. That one was easy. Jalen Warren or Ramondre Stevenson? Which way are you going here?
I have to see here where. Okay, yeah. I've got Warren higher. I know they're playing Cleveland, and that Cleveland defense is scary. But there's kind of no one else. Like, Kenny Gainwell was clearly a 1 week thing. They're leaving him in London, everything like that. That's fine. Like, give me Warren. I don't think either are bad or great options this week. They're both clearly in that running back 2-3 cusp area. But I do lean Warren.
Yeah, I lean Warren as well. Stevenson, he's getting touchdowns, but he's not seeing a ton of work, and he hasn't been super efficient. We have got Brawley619 on Twitch with this one. Do you trust Jamar Chase this week, or do you roll out Debo with Emeka Egbuka?
Well, I'm interpreting that as Egbuka is a locked-in starter, as he should be.
Yep.
I'm rolling with Chase. It's something tells me that Debo is. I don't want to say he's not going to play because he's that guy that toughs it out through injuries, and then those injuries severely limit him during the game. So roll out Chase. I mean, you're not going to feel good about it because it's Flacco against Green Bay, like we were talking about.
Right.
But it's still Jamar Chase. We learned this last week, right? You roll him out even if he disappoints you time and time again because he's still Jamar Chase.
Exactly. Start your studs unless it becomes egregious. And the point may come with Derrick Henry where we're not really excited to be starting him anymore. This could be the decline. I'm not betting on it, though, so you keep starting him. I want to throw this out here from Carly over on Twitch. Per Nathan Janke at PFF, Garrett Wilson has missed a lot of snaps on this drive after playing every snap in the first half, indicating Garrett Wilson might be hurt, and that would fit this season now, wouldn't it, guys? Ouch. So just something to pay attention to.
He was lighting up the Jets sideline as the half ended, so I would not be shocked if this is an Aaron Glenn disciplinary, get in line, bud, sort of deal with him, which would be its own set of very Jetsian problems.
So Garrett Wilson was seen heading to the sideline in pain, grabbing his side and back area.
He really is just like us.
He is just like us. It's good. It's good to know. Just like us. Yeah. All right. We've got this one over on Twitch. Marky219 Lou. Yes, go ahead.
Real quick. We missed the last bit of Masquerade Piranhas.
We did. My bad here. I got so excited about that. Let's pull that one back up here. This is Shaheed for me.
Yeah, me too. And I just wanted to touch on that. I know a lot of people are really enamored by Dobbs, especially with his performance against the Cowboys last week. Number one, that's what Dobbs does to the Cowboys. He is a Cowboys killer. I forget the Giants running back who was just absolutely nails against who was it, the Eagles, I think. And you just have to start him every time. It's similar with Dobbs. If Green Bay plays against the Cowboys, you start Dobbs no matter what. Aside from that, he is at best.
Boston Scott.
Yes, Boston Scott. Oh, yeah, it was the Eagles running back against the Giants.
yes,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's who it was. Thank you for that. But yeah, and that's Dobbs against the Cowboys. Go with Shaheed. He might disappoint because this New Orleans offense is but is better than I thought they were going to be. The Rattler's been surprisingly okay-ish.
More of the surprisingly okay-ish. I love it. This is
phrase of the morning, apparently.
Yeah. Game day live on Optimus Fantasy. We're talking about everything surprisingly okay-ish.
Listen, all right, that Jets Broncos first half was not so surprisingly okay-ish is a big compliment from me right now.
We'll take it this morning. All right, we'll get to this one now. Marky219 over on Twitch. He wants to know, does he start Zach Charbonnet, Michael Carter, Trevion Henderson, or Chase Brown this week? It's a PPR league. And then he needs to know who to flex out of Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, and any of those running backs that he is not starting in the running back slot. I'm going to say Charbonnet is who I would probably roll out from this list of running backs. How about you, Lou?
I do have Chase Brown highest. None of them are in a good tier right now. Like they're all in that kind of flex range. I'm a little interested because Joe Flacco gets the ball out of his hands so fast because he's older than Methuselah and does not want to get hit. That Chase Brown has some PPR scammy upside to him that he hasn't had with Browning, who just has looked lost back there. I don't want to count on it, but I'm open to the possibility. Whereas the others are like, yeah, Charbonnet, he's going to get goal line looks, but he hasn't really done anything other than that for a while. So give me Chase Brown in a kind of, he's more surprisingly okay than the others. Just to go with a theme.
Sticking with the theme, surprisingly okay.
Yeah.
I've got Charbonnet a tick ahead of Chase Brown. Michael Carter, Trevion Henderson, not even in the conversation for me at this point. So I think I'm going to go with you here. I'm going to pivot here. Chase Brown's probably the play. I'm going to agree with you. You changed my mind, Lou. Good job. Then flex. So we've got Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, and then Charbonnet, Michael Carter, Trevion Henderson. I don't think we're going to see the crazy volume out of Stephon Diggs today, but I'm willing to take a shot on it, and I'd rather flex him than anybody else in this group.
I know this stat is bolstered by the 12 targets he got last week, but 19 targets over his last 2 games for Stephon Diggs. He's not seeing the route volume that you'd want. Like, he's not seeing that 80-90% of snaps sort of thing. He's kind of in that 60%-ish range, which, I mean, for, he's a 32-year-old, kind of separation-y wide receiver at this point. That's kind of where he's going to live. But when he's on the field, he's going to get those looks. And we've seen this before, how comfortable a young quarterback can get depending on a guy like that who just has that ability to win at every level, and especially in that short to medium range, where he's incredibly quarterback friendly and everything like that. So give me Stephon Diggs. I've actually got him as a top 12, like wide receiver 12, but a top 12 wide receiver this week, especially in a PPR league. Like, he's got some PPR scam. He throws a touchdown in there and you're cooking with gas.
That's fair. I'm not as high on him as you are, but I like Stephon Diggs this week. Yeah, well, he's finally kind of, I don't know, he's getting involved in the offense. I think he's getting comfortable in the offense. Drake May's getting comfortable with him. He's
also still recovering from that ACL tear, getting back up to that, that game speed. It was, I want to say, week 7 or 8 last year that he injured himself. So, like, it, we got too accustomed to Adrian Peterson coming back 2 months after an ACL tear because he's a robot, and not understanding that it takes time to not just get back up to speed, but get back up to who you are and trust your body and your legs, your knees, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think people forget that. Not everyone's Adrian Peterson. Like, he's the man's a robot, like you said, a freak of nature. We got Joe Hammy mistakenly over on Twitch, Lou. PPR, Kendrick Bourne, Jameson Williams, or DJ Moore needs to start 2 out of this group. Which ones are you going with?
I'm definitely rolling out DJ Moore. And I'm looking here. Who's the other one? JMO. So I've got Jameson Williams higher, but I do have him and Bourne in the same tier. I think it depends on your matchup. Like, if you're chasing points, you got by Dallas Goedert and Cam Scatterbo on Thursday night. I'm probably rolling out JMO, hoping he gets loose for a couple today. Because, I mean, this is what he does, right? He disappoints for a couple weeks, then he has a 25-plus point game 1 week randomly when he's sitting on your bench. So it depends a little bit. If you just need that, like, not 0, I need like 6 receptions, 60 to 70 yards, maybe a touchdown, go with Bourne. I think Moore is your starter one way or another.
Yep, Moore's the definite for me as well, Lou. And then it's going to be Jameson Williams. This is a matchup where I think we get that boom game from him against Kansas City. This is probably a game where they're going to need it. You can stretch the field against this Kansas City defense. We've seen other teams do it, including Trevor Lawrence. Just forcing people to buy back in. If you read our higher lower article this week, you would know why I'm not bought back in even remotely on him. Good news for Garrett Wilson managers. Garrett Wilson is coming back into the game. So that's good news for everyone involved here. This game trucks on, Lou. It's 10 to 9 now.
Oh, yeah, God.
I'm going to be honest. I'm really more entertained by this Celebrity Cruises commercial they're airing right now than I am any time I've glanced over at this game. I kind of want to go on a cruise now. Good job, Celebrity. Woohoo. All right, Lou, let's talk about some of these other games coming up on the slate here this weekend. What might be the least interesting one, something Casey and I talked about a little bit, is this Tennessee at Las Vegas game. Are there any fantasy opportunities in this? No one's going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it unless it pops up on Red Zone, which it won't. But are there any fantasy opportunities in this game? You've got 2 really just absolutely awful defenses. Tennessee's is better than Vegas's defense. Geno Smith, maybe a little bit better game against Tennessee. Maybe this is an opportunity to roll him out in a super flex
we've got 2 very resistible forces against 2 highly movable objects here. So which units suck less against the other units? Nothing about this is surprisingly okay. It is a dumpster fire, rolling down the middle of the street, that sort of thing. That being said, Tennessee did some, I don't want to say they did some good things because there was some fluky luck in that Arizona game. And at the same time, that's the sort of thing that a young team can kind of build on and latch onto to get the vibes right, so to speak. So I'm a little cautiously interested in Eli Manor. I know he's been a favorite of yours since week 1. And, Carly, I want this for you too. I really do. And Gunnar Helm has been seeing a small uptick in usage and that sort of thing. So I think we could see some things out of them against that. I mean, their defensive line is okay. Max Crosby is okay, I should say, not their defensive line. It's just Max Crosby.
Yeah.
So I'm a little interested in that. And I mean, he had that one game that was great. And then he saw some good usage last week, but not really the result from it that we hope for and want. So like, those are the things I'm watching and interested in, but I'm not actively watching the game unless I'm being held against my will, sort of thing.
Well, I think Jonty should have a good game. They're the 3rd worst defense against fantasy running backs right now. Tennessee is specifically, but otherwise the only I know, which is wild.
Simmons is there just wrecking lives and stealing souls, and they still are terrible against the run.
They're a bottom tier defense in just about every category. They're 3rd worst against running backs. The only position they're actually good against is quarterback, which is why I'm actually firing Tennessee up in DFS a bunch this weekend because of that. Because they're so good against the quarterback. Geno Smith interceptions, baby. And that's free points. The only reason
they're good against quarterbacks is because you don't need to throw against them.
Oh, and that's a fair point. But also, Geno Smith is 9 turnovers in 5 games. So I'm playing a lot of Tennessee in DFS.
That
otherwise
makes sense. Like,
they're cheap too. They're like $2,400. So you can pay up some other places. Cincinnati Green Bay should be an interesting one, Lou. Joe Flacco's debut in Cincinnati against a good defense. Are you expecting anything out of the Cincinnati offense this week? I know we've kind of discussed some parts of it.
No, and I'm not expecting anything out of Cincinnati. I am not expecting anything out of Cincinnati until they show me differently. I am protecting my peace. I am guarding my heart against that because they've stomped on it too many times already. And that Green Bay defense has not been as dominant as they were the first couple weeks over the last couple. Like, we obviously saw that 40-40 tie against Dallas where, I mean, they couldn't defend or cover anybody. Yeah. And that Dallas offense is okay, but like, their offensive line is missing 3 starters. You should be able to do something. You should not be getting gashed by, I know Javonte Williams looks revitalized and that's great. You should still not be getting pushed 3, 4, 5 yards off the ball by backup guards. That should not be happening. So I'm cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I'm a little intrigued, but nothing really more than that.
I think that's about where I'm at either. Oh boy, we got big news, guys. Quentin Johnston's inactive. So noted. Lad McConkey to the moon. I'm going to go ahead while we're doing this. I'm hopping into my rankings and taking that boy right out of there. Doesn't need to be in it. Now knowing that he's out, any additional interest in McConkey? Are you thinking about moving them up a little bit in your rankings, or is this kind of they're at where they're at for a reason and we'll call it good?
They're at where they're at for a reason. I'm a little interested in Oronde Gadsden now, not in a hey, I want to roll him out kind of way, but just in a I'm interested to see what he does kind of way. They are, we've seen him do things earlier in the season, and he's taken the normal rookie thing where it takes one step forward, one step back, and just trying to find his way, especially as a tight end. It's tough. But I think if there's a game where we're going to see him again, it could probably be this one. Obviously, Hampton's not there to get soak up that passing volume. Quentin Johnston out now. It's really just I don't trust the running backs like we've talked about. It's really just McConkey and Allen there. Which I want to ask you something. saw a release earlier today is that the Chargers do not expect Hampton back when the 4-week IR stint is up. Like, he's going to be out longer than that. What do you expect this to be, like a potential season ender for Hampton in the rookie? Like, we saw some really good things from him, and then it all kind of came crashing down, and it's been very silent out of there, relatively speaking.
The silence concerns me. More often than not, when we see a bunch of silence out of a front office, out of a coach, when it comes to an injury, it's like Joe Mixon. We haven't heard anything about Joe Mixon at all whatsoever. I think maybe we see him out until week 12 when they've got their bye, and then maybe they roll him back in, depending on where they're at in the season. This is a front office that's smart enough where if they're out of it and he's ready to go week 12, but there's a chance he could re-injure himself, just keep him out for the rest of the season. I think there's a good chance we don't see Hampton again, because this isn't a team that's going to compete, in my opinion. Without Omarion Hampton, they can't compete. And once you get him back, if you're already out of it, why risk it?
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's going to really depend over, he's definitely out those 4 games. What do they do over these next couple? That sort of deal. And then kind of see, I suspect this is something that I think week 12 is a good baseline expectation. Like, you're anything that you get before that, you count as a bonus. And then really just kind of wait and see and hope that he's a guy that you can roll out there again this year. And that would be a bummer, honestly, because I wasn't a big believer in him coming into the year, but it was really cool seeing him get as integrated into the offense as he was.
Yes. No, it is a bummer, man. I was higher on him than a lot of people were, but I saw the situation. I didn't really trust that Najee Harris was going to be much of anything. And honestly, if he hadn't gotten hurt, he was trending towards being a pretty damn good back this year. So that's a real bummer too. Couple things here. We've got Alvin Kamara is active for the Saints. Christian Gonzalez is indeed active for the Patriots. So those are good things to know. Gabbage Man on Twitch, Lou's got a question for us. Been back and forth all week. Devontae Adams or Tet McMillan. Rams against Baltimore. They've been atrocious at covering the wide receiver. This is a team that just loves to throw the ball. I'm going Devontae Adams.
Yeah, is there a way you can get them both in your lineup? I mean, talk about a great problem to have. I mean, I have Adams as wide receiver 9. I've got McMillan at wide receiver 15. Like, these are 2 fantastic options in plus matchups. Mm-hmm. I mean, really good. Jamar Chase or Rico. Yeah, okay, that's valid. He'd have to bench Jamar Chase or Rico Dowdle to get them both in the lineup. So, I mean, I think this is the way, and I roll out Devontae Adams, and it sucks to miss out on such a prime matchup for McMillan, because if there's going to be a week that he really lights it up, I think it's going to be this week. But either way, I don't think you are making a bad choice. I think it's just you're making the best choice you can out of 2 really good options.
Yeah, this is a massive toss-up for me, because I've got Devontae Adams at 10, Tet McMillan at 13. Honestly, now, you can come back on me if I'm wrong here, but I would probably bench Rico Dowdle for Tet McMillan and then start Devontae Adams as well.
And that's tough just because of, Dallas's defense is bad all over. Like, I watched our DFS show, which if you guys haven't seen our DFS show, it is appointment viewing every week. Nate and Mike Reedy throw out some amazing nuggets, like things that I don't think of even, and I'm neck deep in this stuff all the time. They do a fantastic job, so make sure you check it out. But you guys made some great points, and that this Dallas defense is bad all over, and Rico Dowdle sees a ton of volume. I don't think that I can separate myself from, 26 touches last week. I can't separate myself from a guy that is a lock for 20 plus touches for a wide receiver, even in as plus a matchup as I think both of these guys are.
I hear what you're saying, and yes, we know he's going to see a ton of volume, and like we did talk about on the DFS show, like, Dallas's defense is just bad, and they're a defense that, if you watch our DFS show, you know this, we've been targeting 2 defenses all season, the Bengals defense and the Cowboys defense, and it works every single freaking week in DFS, And I like Rico Dowdle this week. I do. My issue is this, Lou, is we see these like mini breakouts for these players who we've seen before that that last week was his absolute ceiling. Rico Dowdle
that was his best
has
career
never
game.
had a game like that
100%.
and will never have another game in his career like that. Mark it.
Yeah.
He'll be okay this week, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to have a decent week. He's going to see 20 touches, but he's not going to have nearly 10 yards per carry. I mean, realistically, Rico Dowdle's a 3-yard per carry guy. He gets those 20 carries, 3 yards per carry. We're looking at realistically 60 to 80 yard output from Rico Dowdle. Let's get a touchdown out of it. Maybe he goes 100 yards in this game because of who they're playing. But I think people are like, oh my God, he's going to be an RB1 this week. I don't think he's going to be an RB1. I think at best, Rico Dowdle is going to be a back end RB2.
I think that's a little overly harsh on him. Number one, he's not a 3 yards per carry running back. He's a guy. We saw him do the thing last year on a really bad Dallas team, a really bad Dallas offense.
4.5 yards per carry.
Yeah. Point. So, I mean, like, I think you were doing him a little dirty there, but I did him a little dirty. But I understand your point too. Like, this is a guy that, like, this Carolina offense is not good. I'm not going to call them surprisingly okay. They don't meet that bar yet.
No.
And I'm looking at you, Bryce Young. I had faith in you, and you not happy with you. But Rico Dowdle, I mean, he's that guy. He's that 4.5 yards a carry guy. Even if you lower that a bit to 4, if he's getting 20 touches, I think we can pretty safely lock him into that 80 to 100 yard tier. And he's going to get that 3 to 5 targets out of the backfield as well, which is just going to kind of boost that floor even a little more. So it's really just that floor versus ceiling thing for me. Where does he have that RB1 ceiling this week? No, I don't think he does. Do I think he's got decent to high RB2 in him this week? Yeah, I absolutely do. And I'm hard pressed to bench those guys for wide receivers that are not like truly elite wide receivers, which Ted is just not yet.
No, well, how can you be in that offense? Right.
Right.
With
I mean,
Bryce
Malik
Young.
Neighbors was last year in that Giants offense, but
yeah, but I'd take that situation. I'd take Tommy DeVito over Bryce Young, buddy. I don't. No, I wouldn't really. Well, it's kind of a toss-up. They're both pretty crap.
Listen, it's closer than I'm comfortable
it should
with. I'll
be,
give you that. Yeah.
Right. We got Mike Plays on Twitch. Make sure you're checking out his Dynasty articles over on Optimus.com, OptimusFantasy.com. Yeah. They're phenomenal pieces to help you really navigate the Dynasty landscape, which can be really tough, especially this time of year. It's hard. Broncos holding in the end zone. Jets taking 11-10 lead. So, yeah, that's fun.
Can't make this up.
No,
this is going to start World War III, isn't it? Like, we're exporting this to London, and I mean, how can we do this?
Like, right? What are you guys trying to do? Oh, Justin Fields getting sacked again. Yep, he's going down.
Everybody
all right,
drink.
Well, everybody drink. It's too early. We've got Tron Force quickly dropped Corum and placed Bam Knight on my bench. Good call. If this becomes a trend, because Trey Benson's on IR, James Conner is on IR. We don't know when either one of these guys are coming back. Bam Knight plays well today. He's probably the lead back moving forward for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. So good call on that one, Tron. I love it.
Yeah. The only thing I'd caution about is, like, right now, this is a Jacoby Brissett led offense. Kyler is inactive today. So don't start these guys if you can avoid it. And it sounds like you can avoid it. You're saying you're putting them on your bench, but just for everyone else out there in Optimus land, don't play these guys if you can avoid it. I'm a little concerned about Kyler Murray going forward. Like, it was described as a mid-foot injury in the Lisfranc spectrum. That word terrifies me. That's
and it should.
Those are season enders. Those are season enders for quarterbacks, and oftentimes they are career changers, especially for a quarterback like Kyler Murray, who depends on his athleticism and scrambling, that explosion as much as he does. So I'm worried about the prospects of this Arizona offense the rest of the season until we get some really good news on Kyler Murray, even as mid of a quarterback as I believe he is, that they need him and not Jacoby Brissett.
Well, Jacoby Brissett, he was an NFL starter once in Indy, and it did not go well. It went okay. I'm not going to say it didn't go well. It went okay. It was surprisingly okay.
Surprisingly okay.
Theme of the day. But, Brissett's not a guy you want starting long-term, and he's not going to be great for this offense. But this offense also, even with Kyler Murray, hasn't been great. It's hard to start Marvin Harrison, and that's Marvin Harrison's fault. That's not even Kyler Murray's fault. Are you okay with Trey McBride today with Jacoby Brissett?
I mean, okay, sure. Like, tight end's a wasteland this year, and it's a crapshoot. So, I mean, we've got guys like Dalton Kincaid, who I'm actually starting to have faith with, and now I don't even know if he's going to play this week. Like, this is just what tight end is this year. So, yeah, I'm rolling out Trey McBride because he's Trey freaking McBride. And I don't feel great, but I don't feel great about any tight end because Brock Bowers is dead, apparently, and now Kyler Murray is dying, and give me McBride, but I'm probably starting Harrison simply because, based on where he was drafted and how the season has gone, you probably don't have enough better options to not start him. But I'm not feeling good about any.
No. We do feel good about Tyler Warren, though. We'll give you that card.
I mean, relatively speaking, sure.
Look, Tyler Warren's a top 5 tight end. I was really down on him, and I'm blaming this all on Kevin Tompkins. This is all Kevin's fault. That's why I was down on Tyler Warren. The man convinced me over many conversations, but we were both wrong. And hey, you know what? We can admit it. At least we can admit it. And speaking of, you can catch Kevin and I tonight after the game. We'll be live on the Express, whatever time that is, roughly 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll roll through every game. We try and keep it quick, but man, it's hard when you've got 15 games to talk about. But come check us out. We'll roll through everything fantasy relevant, everything to help you with your lineups, setting waivers, get ahead of your league mates here. And if you've got more questions, guys, and we're not here to answer them on YouTube, head over to Discord. Waiver wire advice, dynasty discussions, NFL bets, DFS advice, start sit, and just a ton more over on that Discord channel. The link is in the show description. Lou's always there. I try to be. I'm old, man. Discord gets confusing to me sometimes. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. What's happening here? But I try, and we love having you guys. Yes, we've got another one in the chat here. Calvin Ridley or Chase Brown PPR, Lou. Which one do you want?
Yeah, I'm going with Chase Brown here. I think Ridley is fine. Like, I think he's in a similar enough tier to Chase Brown that if you don't want to trust the Bengals offense and Chase Brown, that's valid, and I'm not going to yell at you for it. But I do have Chase Brown a bit higher than Ridley this week.
Yeah, I do too. I would start Chase Brown over Ridley. You convinced me more so than anything else. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
So, there we go.
It's just
this one from Mike plays. Jacoby Brissett might have some value in deep super flex leagues if Kyler Murray is out long term. We're talking like 16-team leagues, but they're out there. I'm in a 16-team. It's a 16-team IDP league, and I had Joe Burrow. It's one quarterback. Joe Burrow's been my guy since the league inception. He's done me well throughout. And now I'm really screwed because I had Jake Browning, can't get Joe Flacco, but I've had Jacoby Brissett on that bench for like 5 years. So I'll be starting him today.
Man, you're going to be starting Jacoby Brissett. And I mean, in a one quarterback league, I get it, especially a league like that where it's, I assume it's a dynasty league where you've just kind of had these rosters roll over time after time. I do get that. The one thing about super flex leagues that I think, I've talked about this in a couple of my articles this year, I don't think enough people appreciate or act on is that you can start two quarterbacks. You do not have to start two quarterbacks. The benefit of starting two quarterbacks is really at the upper range. If you can roll out two really solid guys every week, it helps keep your floor high, gives you decently high ceilings. But when you get down and you start dredging the quarterback ranks here, the Cooper Rush, the Jacoby Brissett, the Geno Smith, these guys, they are not giving you value in that super flex spots. Pivot to other positions. Even in these deep leagues, like you can get 5, 6, 7 points out of waiver wire guys every week, even in 16-team leagues.
Yep.
That's all you're getting from these really not even replacement level quarterbacks. These are backup quarterbacks, and they're backups for a reason. They're not good.
Yeah, a lot of these guys got it. Jacoby, like we said, Jacoby Brissett was a starter for a season. There's a reason that no team has called on him to be a full-time starter since. He'll be serviceable for 2, 3, 4 games, however long Kyler's out. I mean, it could be the rest of the season. These Lisfranc area injuries they're scary. Yeah. To Barely Fantasy's point in the chat, it basically ruined Cam Newton's career, which is a bummer. I mean, like him or don't like him,
there was a lot that ruined his career, but
Cam Newton was fun to watch play football, man. I enjoyed watching him play. I really enjoyed watching him get strip sacked by Von Miller in the Super Bowl, though. That was one of my favorite Cam Newton moments. Well, guys, I want to thank everyone who tuned in today for our Start Sit show. We'll be back next weekend, same time, same bat channel to answer your Start Sit questions. But until then, unlock your Sundays with 25% off your first 4 months with the promo code Optimus Fall. We've got a sweet betting tool that's going to help you make some really good bets this weekend. Pick ones you like. Stay away from ones that are going to lose you money with our betting tool. Again, that's tools.optimusfantasy.com. 25% off your first 4 months with the promo code Optimus Fall. And Lou, we've got a really sweet DFS tool coming soon too. So get on board now. Get that 25% off, guys. It's going to be great for your lineups. One more question before we go, Lou. Start 3 out of this group of 4. Jacoby Myers, Travis Hunter, Xavier Worthy, Chris Olave. So who are you leaving on the bench out of this group?
I'm leaving Hunter on the bench. It's just it's what it is, with Jacksonville until we see him getting more regular volume. I think we've seen some encouraging signs over the last couple weeks, but it's baby steps, which we knew it was going to be with him. This was the danger of him in redraft, was that he was going to be this guy that was going to take more time than we like our fantasy assets to take. So you're rolling out definitely Olave, definitely Myers, and then between Hunter and Worthy, I do go Worthy. And I just want to make sure that I put in one more note after you weigh in here, Nate, too.
Same thing. I'm benching Travis Hunter. Guys, be prepared if you're a Travis Hunter manager. Be prepared that he never pans out on offense. He may become a primarily defensive player in Jacksonville, and it's Charles Woodson was supposed to go both ways when he got drafted. He was the first pick in the draft ahead of Peyton Manning that season. He was supposed to go both ways. We all know Charles Woodson is one of the greatest secondary players in the history of the league. Just didn't play offense because they didn't need him to. So that could happen.
Yeah, it's definitely in the range of possibilities for him. Yeah. So Nate, one thing I just wanted to ask real quick, this DFS tool that's coming out, the betting tool, is there anything that's helping power these that are new to us here? I mean, I feel like we've gotten
I think you should talk about that one, Lou, because you're kind of the driving force behind this part of it, and it's really freaking cool.
Yeah, so I've just been developing, and this is something that Nate can tell you. I've been kind of talking about and building in my head here for a couple of months now. But I've just rolled out a new projection system for Optimus Fantasy that, when I tell you, it is deep and nuanced and complex, and I don't mean that in a we're bringing a lot of noise in kind of way. I mean that it is taking logical steps to account for things that we can actually study and measure. Things like recent performance against top versus bottom defenses and accounting for them, roles within in offense, percentage of things like touchdown shares, how often players score touchdowns for their offense compared to other players. It's taking all of this into consideration. And I'm not trying to get lost in the weeds here, but just to help you understand how deep and rich these projections go. And we are able to do some really fantastic things. And this is just the start of it, really. We are going up from here. I'm tweaking it and developing it. Nate can tell you literally day by day to make it better, make it tighter, make it more accurate. And when I tell you that this is on par with the best out there, I'm not being arrogant in that. Like, this is what I've striven for, and I'm really, really stinking proud of what we've built.
Well, and you should be. And I'm going to say this as someone who's been playing fantasy football and fantasy sports for over 30 years. I've never seen something like this. Of all of the tools, all of the websites before I even got into this industry, and all the things that I've done, things I've tried out, tools I've used to try and win, analytics, whatever it is, this is insane, and it's awesome, and you guys want to get on board with it. One more shameless plug, 25% off the next 4 months with the code OptimusFall. Make sure you go over to tools.optimusfantasy.com and check it out. On the way out of here, Lou, please help me decide Detroit or Jacksonville's defense today.
Let's see here.
We've got Detroit against Kansas City. We've got Jacksonville is up against, we just talked about it, Seattle. I'd probably go Detroit's defense.
Yeah, I do too. I really think Jacksonville's playing with kind of a horseshoe stuck up their bum so far this year, and there's always that danger that it falls out. And I mean, sometimes it just happens. Where it's your year, the football gods smile on you. This might be Jacksonville's year. And we know that Detroit, I mean, they're kind of lacking some secondary options. Their secondary wasn't that good to begin with. And
there's still no Rashee Rice in Kansas City. So the passing game's still crap there too.
Right. And we know that Detroit offense is so good that it forces teams to be one-dimensional, which is really, really tough to be against their defensive line and linebacking core. It's an attacking style, Aiden Hutchinson and was it Anzalone there as well? Or is he in Minnesota? Either way, I know they've got a Thor type player linebacker there in Detroit who plays a similar role. I mean, they love being able to play downhill, and they're able to do it a lot thanks to how good their offense is. So I think you roll with Detroit. I don't like either as premium options this week, but I do like Detroit better as the matchup option.
Yeah, Seattle's offense has been too good, and throw up in my mouth a little bit. Sam Darnold's been borderline elite level this year. He's just playing well, man.
Get it, man. Good for him. Honestly, it's good for him. Get out of New York.
Little note from Barely Fantasy. Yeah, right. Barely Fantasy saying Anthony Richardson hurt his eye during warmups today and is now the QB3. In a shock to no one, I suppose. I mean, the way it happens is always weird, but I mean,
that's definitely like the black pellets that are in the turf, that sort of thing. That's definitely like that got in there and is just scratched a cornea or something, right?
Probably.
Like how snake bit do you got to be?
Do you remember Brian Greasy?
Yeah.
Broncos quarterback for a minute. What ended his career primarily in Denver is he slipped on ice while he was snow blowing and fell, and he tore his ACL in his driveway here.
Oh my God.
He ended up playing a couple more seasons in Tampa Bay, but he basically slipped on ice. Yeah. There was another
I moved to Tampa Bay after that too.
Yeah, right. Get me out of this cold. Oh, yeah. And he was a Bears quarterback for a minute as well. I did forget about that little stint too.
Now that you mention it, it reminds me of, and I don't remember the player anymore, but I used to be a fantasy baseball player back in the day, in the high school and that sort of thing. And baseball, if you're not familiar, they have so many just weird injuries because they play so many games and it's all the time. My favorite was a pitcher who had to go on the DL because he was opening a package, like a block of cheese with a knife and stabbed, like a butter knife, and stabbed himself in the stomach.
It was a Mariners pitcher. I remember that though. I used to be deep in baseball too. Oh yeah. Yeah. The weird injuries over 162 game season that some of these guys will get. There was a Rockies player who I think ended up on the 14-day DL because he tripped on a rock and tweaked his ankle, and it was just one of the things where it's 162 game season.
They are just like us.
They are just like us. All right, folks, we're going to let you get to your Sunday. Make sure you get those lineups set. Make sure you check out our Discord channel, and make sure you head to tools.optimusfantasy.com and use that promo code OptimusFall. We've got a lot of stuff, not just betting, not just DFS, but all sorts of stat tools to help you set those lineups, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your Sunday. For Lou Brunson, I'm Nate Polvogt, and we'll see you later.